Hello, everyone. I'm Melissa McAllister, and you're listening to The Melissa Made Show. Now, for decades, I've dedicated myself to helping women break the cycle of dieting, navigate through all the fads, and change their lives through my nutrition coaching. Now, each week, I'm going to talk about everything from deep nutrition, mindset, self-care, the ideal workout routine, tips on how and why to implement intermittent fasting in your life, my favorite recipes that are not only crowd pleasers, but they're actually healthy for you, and so much more. Now, with small and consistent changes, you can defy aging while living a happier, healthier, and more heart-filled life. I'm so excited to show you it's possible with the right strategies that are so simple to adopt. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Melissa Made Show. So I've been living in Mexico part-time for almost a year now. My mind blown. It just goes so fast. Anyway, I was really trying there for a while to do podcasts here. And if you even look back, you go to my YouTube channel, or even look at some of my little sneak peeks into the podcast, you'll see I even tried it in my closet, and it was very difficult, but I haven't given up. Now, when I started this podcast, I really thought to myself, okay, it's going to be me and my 30 followers that are going to listen. And it's done so much better than I ever expected. Very, very, very humbling. But I never prepared for it to be as popular as it is. So I never thought to have, these beautiful studios, or some of these podcasts are so exceptional. Very envious. I don't know that I will ever get there, though, because I really, truly just always wanted this podcast to be me having a candid conversation with someone I respect, or me talking to you, just sharing ideas, sharing knowledge, tips, tricks, all of that. So all that to say, finally, Mick and I found a really good electronic guy, and he came and he made it so I could hardwire my laptop. So this is the first time I'm actually hardwired in. So I'm not in a closet. You're not staring at my bed, because that seemed to be the best place. I'm now sitting at my kitchen table. Oh, I'm sitting in a normal place. And hopefully the lighting's good. Hopefully the sound's good. I took all of my equipment back to Texas because I didn't think I would use it again. So the next time I come, I will bring my microphone, but hopefully the sound is fine. I just wanted to say that for you guys to understand that I do try really hard with this. I mean, I spend my time, my social media sucks. It sucks. I know it does. I spend my time behind the scenes, learning and educating myself, and putting things into easy to digest bits and pieces. I don't spend my time making these beautiful reels. I don't spend my time trying to entertain you. My podcast isn't that either. What I do is behind the scenes. But here we are, still putting the effort in to try to make everything I do a little bit better for you. And this is just one area that I think that I've managed. We'll see. This may be a total fluke, and my podcast team is like, oh no, your sound was terrible, or you had too much backlighting, or whatever. So who knows? But if you're listening to this, we've made advances. Go us. So today, I want to talk to you about the holidays coming up. I'm recording this mid-October, closer to the end of October. And I know just as well as you guys do that, it seems like from Halloween until New Year's is the time that we really struggle to continue on our health and fitness journeys, to be a healthier person as the months go by. And I've talked about this before, but I will be very upfront with you. Last year, it was probably in November that I told myself, you know what, I'm just going to step back a little bit, and because I was pushing hard as I always do, and be just a little bit more lax on my eating, and a little bit more, not so push so hard in my fitness. And it was just going to be for a little while. And it ended up being quite a long time. And although there wasn't a huge change in the way I looked, there was a change. Absolutely. And there was a huge change in how I felt. Huge change. I just drank a lot more. I didn't eat as nutrient dense as I normally do. So there's more sugar, there was more alcohol. And when it came time for me to reel it in and to be like, Melissa, stop. This is going on too long. Pull it back. It was very, very difficult, very difficult. And it was very hard for me, being in my late 40s, to get off the few pounds that I had put on. Really was. So I want to help prepare you, because this is what I've been doing for me, prepare you for the upcoming holidays. If you are on a health journey and you are working really hard to build your immune system, to, maybe lose a few pounds, to build muscle, to feed your body what it needs to be its healthiest. Okay. We don't want to ruin that. You've probably been working for quite a while at it. And it's very easy to go into that mode of, oh, I'll just put it on like I did, put it on the back burner until, January 2nd. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. We have to come into the holidays with a game plan. We have to be prepared. And so I want to just give you a couple of tips on helping you be prepared for the holidays as they're coming, because you just can't throw caution to the wind. You can't hope that this year, because statistics show that people put weight on every holiday season, and then here in the last several decades, they don't get it off, which is why we see the 30, 40, 50 pound weight gain, 20, 30 years later. It doesn't have to be, but believe it or not, it's not that somebody slowly, steadily gains weight. It does happen, but throughout the whole year, it's really in those couple of months that we really push the candies, the alcohols, the desserts, the large meals that really kind of set us back. And then we don't get it off, and it just keeps stacking on us. So we're not going to let that happen this year, right? So can't throw caution to the wind. The number one thing that I need you to be steadfast in is setting yourself some goals. What are your goals going to be? Okay. Maybe you're going to be like, you know what? I really want to be strong. I'm just going to be, keep doing what I'm doing through the holidays. Cool. But you're going to have to really be prepared. And we're going to talk about that. Or maybe you're like, you know what? I know there's going to be a lot more parties, a lot more opportunities to just enjoy these off-plan foods. And so I'm not going to worry about the weight loss right now, but I am going to try to hold my weight. And I'm going to take this opportunity to be, as I'm eating more, to maybe increase my muscle strength. Why not, right? You're feeding yourself well, you're in a little bit of a surplus. It's a good time to work on muscle strength, but you have to set goals for yourself. What goals do you want to set? So come the beginning of January, you've reached those goals. Maybe it is not to gain weight. Okay. And that's going to be your whole goal. And so come January 2nd, you're really stinking proud of yourself because you didn't gain weight. Or maybe you increased your strength during this time and you were doing 20 pound dumbbell chest presses and you were able to bump it up to 25 or 30 pounds. That's something to be really proud of as well. But have a goal, one that you know that you can stick to and that you can accomplish. October, November, 2.5 months away. Gosh, that's really fast. It's really fast. 2024 is 2.5 months away. Crazy. So anyway, you got to set those goals, and I want you to write them down, and it doesn't hurt to reverse engineer them or to put them into smaller goals as well. What are you going to do? Are you going to weigh yourself once a week? Are you going to take measurements? Are you going to commit to doing a strength training program? Are you going to, walk? What are you going to do to make sure that you hit that goal, which is not gain weight, could be to lose weight, could be to gain muscle. Only you can set that goal, but you have to be very prepared to work at it, because it's just not going to happen if we're not making the effort every single day to hit that goal. The next one is to be realistic with the time that you have to do the things that you know that you need to do. So is this time of year extra busy for you? Do you have a ton of children that are going to be having parties? Do you have, a lot of coworkers and they all have their own sorts of parties? Do you have a big family and there's a lot of parties, or you're going on vacations? If time is different than it normally is from, January until mid-October, then you have to prepare for that. If you normally do 45-minute workouts every day and you go for a 30-minute walk, bravo. But if you know you can't do that, then you've got to prepare yourself for, okay, I can't take these 30-minute walks anymore. Or I'm going to have to change the time that I do it. So normally you do it at 9 o'clock in the morning, but life is just going to be too chaotic. And so you're going to get up 30 minutes earlier and you're going to do it in the morning. Or instead of doing those 45-minute workouts, you're going to have to cut it down to maybe 30 minutes or 45 minutes, but only 4 times a week instead of 6 times a week. Okay, you got to think about that kind of stuff, because if you start feeling like it's too much, then you just quit doing it instead of adjusting it to the time that you do have. It's important that you have your activity mapped out in these busy times, but not only that, but your food. Maybe you can't cook for yourself during these next few months near as well as you could. Consider a meal service, right? Whether it's those things that you buy and they've got all the food and all you have to do is put it together really quick, or something like Catered Fit or Flex Pro Meals, or a bistro something or another. I really like them as well. I don't know, metabolic meals through the Lumen. There's all these meal plans that you can buy and have your meals done for you to save you time. Make sure you're still eating in a very healthy way. So you're gonna have to make adjustments if your time is going to be constricted because of this holiday season. All right, the next one is to map out a calendar for these important things. Pull out a calendar. And I want you to write down when your workouts are. I want you to write down when you need to order your food, or if you're going to meal prep for yourself to save time. Get together with some friends and do it together. It's going to be more cost effective. It'll be fun. Just, don't pull out the champagne and drink a bunch of champagne when you do it. Damn it. And then the times that you work out and stuff. If you can map out and see on a calendar what it is you have to do, honestly, it's a sigh of relief, because you're like, oh, okay, this is pretty doable. On the days that I'm not working out, I'm going to spend a little bit more time on my meal prepping, or I'm going to go grocery shopping, or I'm going to go online and I'm going to order my food. Get a calendar and put all of those activities. This is the days that I walk. These are the times that I'm going to lift my weights. This is when I'm going to prepare my food, all that stuff. And on top of that, on that calendar, I want you to put all of the parties that you know are going to happen. Children's parties, neighbors' party, family, coworkers, all of that stuff. If things are going to happen and the dates are already coming in, you're going on vacation, you're going to visit family, put it on the calendar so that you can see that as well. And you can better prepare for those times for that party where there's going to be lots of fun alcohol or lots of fun desserts and candies and treats. And you can be more prepared if you know it's coming and you see it on the calendar, and you can see, well, this is what I'm doing. Maybe I can bump up my walks just a little bit more. Maybe I can on this day lift just a little heavier because I'm going to enjoy this party just a little bit more. So keep in mind, get that calendar out. I would prefer you to print one out and to write everything down and have it on your bathroom mirror or somewhere that it's just in your face, and you just feel extremely prepared. Preparedness is close to godliness. Is that what they say? I probably just mutilated that. But I also want you to stick to your commitments when you are in control. There's going to be times that you're not. A child's going to get sick. You are going to go on vacation. Family's going to come visit, and you're going to be a lot less in control than when you have those times that you're like, okay, this is 100% up to me. I need to get my ass up and I need to go do that walk because I'm committed and I have to keep that commitment to myself. Okay, it's time to make dinner. I really just want to order a pizza. However, I'm in complete control right now of what I eat. So I am going to pull out that grilled chicken I defrosted. I'm going to make that grilled chicken and I'm going to love it. Put some pizza seasoning on it. It'll taste just like pizza. Just kidding. So my daughter-in-law always says, they have the cauliflower. She's a huge pizza lover, and they have the cauliflower pizzas and all this stuff. And she's like, no. She says, if I want pizza, I'm going to have pizza. So I get that. So don't try to fake it, but make yourself a nutritious meal. The opportunity to have the pizza probably next week at the party is going to be there. So when you have the opportunity to be in control, okay? Hold yourself to that higher standard. And that little phrase right there, I almost wanted to do a whole podcast of holding yourself to a higher standard. And I talked to Mick about that because I was like, when I walk this beach and I'm cleaning up garbage, if I walk by, say, a bottle cap and it's kind of far away, or I've already picked up a ton of garbage. Honestly, there's times that I'm like, I've done good enough. But then I take a couple steps and I'm like, I can't do it. And I have to turn around and pick up that stupid bottle cap. Nobody knows whether or not I pick up that bottle cap, but I hold myself to a higher standard that if I see there's something that I can do to make something better, I don't care if it's me, I don't care if it's my family, I don't care if it's my friends, I don't care if it's you, my social media friends, I have to do it. There's just something in me that won't let me cheat that. And I want you to have that same mentality. Hold yourself to a higher standard. When you're in control, you do what you can to make yourself the happiest and healthiest that you can. Okay. Are you ready to learn the secret behind how I continue to be so healthy? Well, it all comes down to science. If you've been listening to my show for a while now, you may have heard me mention something called the MAID diet. Yes, that's right. Because I'm so passionate about how learning about the effects that nutrition has on the human body, I always seek to learn as much as I can and apply that knowledge. One of my best learning tools has been self-experimentation. And now in my late 40s, I have to say, I've done a pretty good job. It's hard to find trustworthy, even accurate information in this country. Between the influence of big corporations with monetary agendas, the nutrition labels designed to deceive, and downright misleading information that you were taught in school, navigating food and nutrition with your optimum health in mind can be quite challenging. Take the food pyramid, for example. In an ideal world, I'm sure we would all love to eat pasta and baguettes for every meal, but that's simply not what's best for our bodies, our health, and our longevity. Now, I spent years developing the MAID diet in a way that I wish someone had taught me, and I break it all down in my MAID diet course. People are always asking me what I eat, so we start there. What I eat in a day and which foods are the most beneficial. So think something in between the Mediterranean and the paleo diet. It's a lifestyle plan that incorporates moderate protein, adequate fat, decreased carbs, and an introduction to intermittent fasting. But please, I want you to keep in mind, just because I say decrease carbs, I don't mean decrease carbs in what your body needs. I just mean decrease carbs in what the standard American diet has become. You still get plenty of quality carbohydrates, just not in the mass amounts we have been eating to get us into such an unhealthy state. And of course, we're going to talk about what foods to avoid because that's just as important. We even talk about how to eat healthy on the go because let's face it, we're busy and that's just life. And then there's intermittent fasting. I share all of my favorite tips and tricks, and a lot of science are along the way. I could not say enough good things about intermittent fasting, and I'm honestly so surprised more people aren't doing it. You'll also learn how I've learned to balance my hormones and feel my best because so many women struggle with this. And lastly, we cover the mindset behind making a change because we all know that your mindset is the key to your success in anything that you do. So if you are struggling with diet in terms of feeling your best, or you are ready to take your health to the next level, I strongly recommend you check out this course. Now, the course is structured in 5 modules, 16 lessons, and a whole lot of research to back everything up. So I want you to visit my website, themaiddiet.com or melissamaid.com, and you will see a tab for the course. Click on that to get access today and learn why you should be eating this way too. So the last one is to be honest with yourself about the importance of some holiday treats and favorites. Okay. There's some things when my grandmother was alive, and I still do this for my children because it's a tradition. She would make these dishes that I had to have. That was once a year, and I was not going to be like, no. It's her broccoli casserole. Gosh, it's awful. It was frozen broccoli with Velveeta cheese and Ritz crackers soaked in butter. Delicious. And then her sweet corn. Can you tell my grandmother was Southern? And it is a frozen corn with a cup of sugar and a stick of butter. Those 2 things my children love. I loved, my mom loves, my grandmother used to make, and there's no way that I'm not going to have it. And there's no way I'm not going to feed it to my family. So you have to be honest about the things that you know you're going to have, right? Don't try to be tough and not have it, because it's tradition. It's okay. Just be prepared for it. Or if just because you're at a party and you see some gingerbread cookies and you're like, it's that time of year, and you have a couple of those. You really can get gingerbread cookies any time of year. Try not to have the excuse in your mind of, oh, it's that time of year, I should have it. No, you really shouldn't, if you have goals that you're trying to hold true to yourself. But in the same breath, I'm telling you, if there are foods or even a drink, say your Aunt Lisa, I do have an Aunt Lisa, makes the most amazing alcoholic coffee Christmas amazingness in a glass. And you just really want to have that, then, oh my gosh, please do. But weigh that. Is it because it's a tradition and you look forward to it all year and it brings you such joy and it just keeps that memory going? Or is it just because you're making an excuse because it's the holidays and that's what you do during the holidays? Just deciphering between those two is very, very powerful. Okay. Extremely powerful on you making those decisions on whether or not you really, truly want it. When you wake up in the morning, are you going to be like, that was the best night, all of those amazing foods that I look forward to every year, I enjoyed, hopefully in moderate portions? Are you going to wake up in the morning and go, I didn't need to eat all of that? Are you going to have that guilt because you just knew that you just made an excuse to eat it, or because it really was something that was important to you? And there is a difference. There really, truly is a difference, that eating just because, or that eating because it fills your soul, not your belly, but gosh, just your soul. And then I always talk about this as well. And I love these conversations with my clients because it really does matter if you are going to do better moderating or abstaining. That's why I think sometimes when you see, let's just use somebody that's in the competitive world, or I don't know, they're a model or something, and they really have to, keep their weight at a very good balance. And you see them talking about having treats all the time. Guaranteed, they're very good at moderating. I mean, they just have a little tiny bit because they're good at that moderating. But then there's other people, me included, that has a hard time moderating. I most of the time will do better abstaining. So say, for instance, there's, I'm going to a party and there's just a beautiful dessert table. I would do better grabbing a cup of decaf coffee, sipping on that, than going over there and telling myself I'm just going to have a bite of something just for me. I'm just like, you know what? I've had that cupcake before. I've had cheesecake before. I've had key lime pie before. I know what it tastes like. I'm full. I had a great meal. I'm just going to have a nice warm cup of decaf coffee and be okay with it. Only you can make that decision. Okay. And neither is right and neither is wrong. But you have to know if you are good at moderating. I always use the example of, if I were to go to the movies with Mick and he will get one of those really big popcorns and he will offer me some. This is just me. But if I'm like, okay, I'll have a little bit, because we all know the oils they use. It's not so good in this popcorn. That I'll grab, myself a handful and enjoy it. The rest of the movie, I'm just side-eyeing that popcorn because that's what I want to eat. And that's what I'm focused on, is that was so good, I want to have more. As opposed to just saying, oh, no, thank you, I'm good, and not having any. I do just fine. I've drawn that line in the sand. I'm like, nope, don't want any, don't need any. I'm going to enjoy this movie without it. Enjoy your popcorn. I'm fine. And I don't keep side-eyeing it. And I don't keep thinking about it because I abstained. I told myself, nope. And I'm going to honor that, as opposed to having, for me, that handful and going, God, that was so good, I want more. Doesn't work for me. Some people will be like, yeah, I'd love to have a handful, and they'll eat it and they'll enjoy it and they're satisfied. Okay. We're different people. And so sometimes when you're following someone on social media or something, and you see that they do have these treats, and maybe it seems often, promise you, they're just really good moderators. Are you a good moderator? Then follow suit. If you're like, nope, I can't open up a Godiva chocolate bar and have one little square and be satisfied. Okay. Try to get the individually wrapped ones. That's my secret. That works for me. But some people can. So you have to decide that. All right. So I hope this was helpful. in you preparing for the next 2.5 months of, it doesn't have to be all or nothing, but you do have to be prepared. You do have to have a game plan. Okay. I really want you to set goals. What is your goal going to be for the next 2.5 months? On January 2nd, what accomplishment do you want to be proud of yourself for maintaining, hitting, gaining, losing, whatever it is? You set a goal, get that calendar out, put all of the things that you know you can do to keep yourself healthy. I mean, we're even talking mentally, man. If you need to meditate or do something during these stressful times, I wish the holidays weren't stressful. They're supposed to be all joy, but they do become stressful. Put all the things on the calendar. It's probably the one takeaway out of all of this that I really want you to listen to. Print out a calendar, print out the rest of October, November, and December, and write down everything, every party that comes up, every workout you believe you can commit to, your way of shopping or meal prepping or, purchasing foods. Put it all down and look at it and have it in front of you. Okay. You won't be perfect, but I guarantee you that preparedness is going to make a huge difference in you hitting whatever goal that you set for yourself for January 2nd. When you're in control, when you are in control, stay committed. Okay. There's going to be times you're not. It happens to everybody. You're going to be so out of control and you don't have a choice on what you can eat or when you can eat. It becomes everybody else's game. And you're a good person. You listen to this, you're a good person and you will put other people first. And so you won't make a fuss or make a big deal about, well, this is not in my schedule. And so you'll go with the flow. When you can control it. Okay. And be honest with yourself about what's really important. Okay. What do you look forward to every year? Moderate for those things. I don't want you to cut them out ever do I want you to cut out something that has brought you joy for years. But be strong by nourishing your body all day long. Don't save up your calories. Nourish your body with good food so that your body doesn't give you these tricks of you thinking you have to eat a whole bunch because you're so hungry when you're really not hungry. You're just not nourished. So enjoy those things. But know the difference between it being a tradition and something that just is so important to you. And I smile every time I say that because I just think back to my grandmother who I miss dearly. All of the wonderful things that she would make. And now you can hear me choking up. I'm so grateful that I never once didn't partake in her love of cooking. So don't do that to yourself, but also know the difference between that and, it's a Christmas cupcake with green frosting. It's the holidays. That's not gonna fill your soul. It's just gonna, spike your insulin. Okay. Really watch the sugar and the alcohol intake as much as you can. Okay. They are pro-inflammatory. They will disrupt your gut and they will give you the false feelings of being hungry. They will mess with your sleep, all that stuff. So I'm not saying cut it out. I'm just saying watch it very closely. And last but not least, realize, really sit down and have that conversation with yourself. Look in the mirror and say, self, are you a moderator or are you an abstainer? How are you better in control when it comes to these off plan, these naughty foods? Are you better just saying, I'm good, thank you. Had popcorn before, I'll have popcorn again. I don't want it right now. Or yeah, I want a handful. Give me a handful of it, but that's all I want. Which is you, and know it. Okay. So anyway, happy early holidays. It sounds weird to say that right now because I'm staring at a beautiful ocean and it's 92 degrees out there. But I will be home for the holidays to be around my family. So happy early holidays to you and set your goals. I believe you can achieve them. I really do. So as I always say, I want you to wake up feeling prepared. Have that calendar in your bathroom. And I want you to go to bed feeling so proud of yourself because you lived your life, but you also put life to your years. Wow, we've reached the end. But before I leave you, I'd love to hear from you. After all, it's not every day that someone reaches out and asks for your opinion. And to me, Your opinion does matter. So please share this episode with anyone that you think needs to hear this message. And remember to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. My name is Melissa McAllister. And until next time, thank you for being your own health advocate.